And again, appreciate everyone for stopping by. So, as an introduction, my name is Brett McCoyne. I am the Director of Business Development for Amyx Technologies Corporation. Today, we are talking about the digital transformation journey and really what a corporation or organization should be thinking about when they are looking to undertake this endeavor. We're going to briefly talk a little bit about Amyx Technologies, who we are, what it is that we do, talk and really kind of define what the basis is for a digital transformation so we have a baseline understanding. Also, why it is important to upgrade today. What are the benefits of upgrading and why should we go to a platform like Drupal 9? And then towards the end, we are going to talk briefly about measuring your results and also a list of questions and a checklist of what people and organizations should be thinking about when they start this process. So, without further ado, a little bit about Amyx Technologies Corporation. We have been in business since 2007. We are headquartered in Schaumburg, Illinois. We are a global organization, so we have a large development center in Chennai, India, another one in Brussels, Belgium, a third one in Singapore. And then we also have employees that work remotely throughout the US. I personally am in Colorado. We have employees up in Washington, California, Texas, and then over on the East Coast in Alabama. We have close to about 600 employees throughout the entire organization, and we have helped over 15 large enterprise organizations with their digital transformation journeys. These are Fortune 500 companies. And then we actively maintain and support close to 250 websites built on the Drupal application. In addition to that, we have been mentioned in Gartner's magazine for the work that we've done with AI. We are on Inc. 5000's fastest growing company list 7 consecutive times in a row. We are currently shooting for 8 now with 2021. And then we are also a 4-time award winner with the Acquia Engage program. We've been a partner of Acquia's now for a number of years, and we have attended multiple DrupalCon events. This is personally my 4th DrupalCon event. Um, and then last but not least, we are also an ISO certified organization since 2013. So we are able to help government clients with their digital transformation projects. Now, as we get started and as we are talking about an organization and they are looking at the process of transforming their web presence or their digital presence, it helps to have kind of just a baseline understanding of, well, what does digital transformation mean? If you look it up online, you'll get a very Wikipedia definition here. But in essence, what we are talking about is really replacing or enhancing non digital processes within an organization with the latest and greatest of innovative digital technology. So we're trying to find areas to improve efficiency and effectiveness and ultimately basically do more for less. So that's in essence what the definition is. One of the questions that often comes up is, well, why should I consider this? Why should I be looking at an upgrade for my organization's website? Why should I undertake a digital transformation journey? Um, and now more than ever, people are using websites as a way to interact with businesses and consumers on a scale like we've never seen before. Obviously, COVID impacted a lot of us. It has changed the landscape in which and how we communicate with each other on a daily basis. And it's really not going to change anytime soon. If anything, COVID has precipitated the need for a strong digital presence for an organization so they can reach the right target market, they can reach their audience that they're trying to communicate with. Um, and having a strong digital platform in place is paramount these days. Obviously, if you're running on something like Drupal, then obviously end of life is coming for 7 and 8, and so if you're planning to stick with Drupal, then you know that you kind of don't have a choice but to upgrade. But really, just the way in the landscape has changed, it's really paramount now for organizations to be thinking about how they want to drive traffic, how they want to interact with their users. So moving along, if you are in the market and you are looking to undertake a journey like this, and maybe you're already on Drupal or you're looking at other CMS systems out there, One of the benefits that Amix has is we work on multiple technologies, but we are a strong advocate for Drupal. We have a whole Drupal division called Drupal Geeks. That's actually the division of the company that I am responsible for. And we see Drupal as being one of the best and most scalable open source systems on the market today. One of the big advantages of Drupal 9 is that it's really closed the gap between its competitors in being an easier, more user friendly, out of the box application to use than it has been in years past. With the implementation of both object oriented Symfony, things also like Composer and Twig, it's fundamentally changed the way people can interact with Drupal and really pick it up without having to be necessarily a developer or have a developer skill set. In addition to that, it's one of the most secure systems out there. We hear time and time again about other open source CMS systems being hacked. One of the most widely popular CMS systems that are out there is notorious for this. And to date, Drupal and the Drupal community has done a fantastic job with keeping up to date with security patches and making sure that security is at the forefront of what its foundation is. Last but not least, and just my personal opinion, I think Drupal is one of the most infinitely scalable systems out there. So when you're looking to grow your digital presence, if an organization is trying to enhance something that it has on its website or wants to reach out to another different maybe customer market or segment, really, if you can dream it, then Drupal can build it. And for that reason, we are a strong proponent for Drupal and Drupal 9 in general. So moving kind of right along here, if an organization has gone through a digital transformation and they've gone through the process of upgrading maybe the look and feel of their site, they've implemented new tools and resources, how do you really measure the success of what you've done? And one of the key components of that is making sure that you have the right team in place to help analyze all the data in a real-time sense for what you've done. So maybe you're working with an organization like Amix, maybe you're working with another organization, or maybe you have internal resources that can help you with this. But making sure that you do have the right team in place to handle that transition, to handle that digital transformation, and to also be able to manage your SEO campaigns, reach the target markets that you are looking to reach, communicate with your users on the way that you wish to communicate with them. These are all paramount in being able to accurately measure your return on your investment. So Amex is more than happy to help clients with this. We do this on a daily basis. But outside of that, really making sure you have the right tools in place, the right team members in place, and the right resources in place to analyze all this will help you determine whether or not your digital transformation was a success. But in addition to that, too, having the right team to help make improvements and tweaks to your site as things advance and as technology changes is definitely paramount for you. So, with my 10 years of experience here at Amix, I'm often asked a lot of questions in terms of, well, how do I start a digital transformation? Now, this is sort of a checklist of questions that I get asked. It's definitely not all inclusive. It's also questions that we ask our clients in terms of trying to figure out what their journey is, where they're trying to go, what they want this to look like. So this is a good starting point for people who are considering, making the transformation, whether it's on Drupal or another application altogether. These are kind of a list of questions that will really help you get in the right mind frame in terms of talking to an organization like ourselves or even talking internally with your own internal resources. And so one of the big things that we always ask clients is, well, what are the goals that you're trying to accomplish? What are your major pain points that you're trying to alleviate with doing a digital transformation? Are you looking to solve a specific problem for a specific use case for a specific user? Is there additional functionality that you want to have on the site? With COVID, a lot of clients that we work with is higher education. And for what we've done with them, implementing remote learning or maybe streaming services, implementing LMS systems where you can have randomized testing. These are all enhancements that have come and then been brought to the forefront really with what COVID has unfortunately brought to the table for us with social distancing. So maybe you're trying to solve a problem like that. Maybe you're trying to add functionality. This just gives you kind of an idea of some of the areas that you want to be considering and looking at in today's world. Another big area, especially if someone is on, say, Drupal 7 or an older version, um, is the look and feel of your site older than 5 years old? If it is, it's a good time to start thinking about updating the look and feel and the design of your site. Google is constantly changing its algorithms, and so mobile responsiveness is one of those changes that has impacted organizations that didn't have a mobile responsive site. Now it's been a few years since that's come out, so most sites that and clients that we talk to today are kind of up to par with that. But there's another change coming to Google here in May. So is your organization ready for these changes? You know, Going along the lines of design, how do you want your users to access your site? What do you want your users to do when you bring them to the site? Are you trying to drive them, to a specific area? Are you looking to have them complete an order, or maybe you're trying to get them to read a specific article or find some sort of information, or maybe you need them to call you to place an order. List goes on and on. But how do you want to engage with them? How do you want to interact with your users? And how do you want to guide them through your site? What does their journey look like? So all this comes down to a strong user interface, a strong user experience. Maybe you're incorporating artificial intelligence or machine learning into the site to help navigate and guide that traffic. These are all areas that Amex has expertise in. So this is not an all-inclusive list, but it gives you an idea of kind of the journey and the questions you should sort of be asking yourself internally. I realize this is kind of a short uh, 10-minute window into what we do and what's available to you, but I hope that you found it insightful and educational. If you wish to contact us to learn more about the services that we provide, or even just to stop by and tell me I did a horrible job on this presentation, feel free to stop by our booth, but reach out to us at amixusa.com. You can also reach me on my LinkedIn profile. And then our Drupal Geeks division is drupalgeeks.com. I really appreciate your guys' time today. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your DrupalCon. Thank you so much.